Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I'm going to be building the Star Trek Enterprise NX-01. I got this kit for Christmas, and it's just been sitting in my stash, but lately I've been watching the Enterprise television show again, and even though it's not my favorite Trek, my original favorite Trek is always going to be the original television series with Captain Kirk. And then after that would be Next Generation, Voyager, and then Deep Space Nine. But I do like the television show. It grew on me after a while, but definitely like the ship, so we're going to build this one today. Now, this kit was originally released back in 2005, and then it had a few box changes between then and 2014, but in 2014, they added the extra parts to show the refit version of the Enterprise NX-01, which I don't believe was ever in the television show that I remember. And I believe it was planned to be in the television show, but it's nice that they add the extra parts to depict the refit kit on this. And this version here, which is the current release available, which was released back in 2019 by Polar Lights and Round 2. Before I get started, I'd like to say thank you to all my current subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. And if you wouldn't mind it, please click that subscribe button down below. It helps out the channel and I would really appreciate it. All right, so let's cut the box open and see what we get inside. Hey there friends, there's a lot more to come in this video, but I just wanted to take a quick moment to show off some of my new and classic t-shirt designs from my shop. If you're like me and love wearing t-shirts and building scale models, then you know there aren't many hobby themed options out there. Well, now there are. Check out my scale model themed shirts, hoodies, mugs, and stickers, all designed by a scale model builder for scale model builders. From some of my newest designs like Keep Calm and Build Scale Models, and Glue, Paint, Repeat, to some of my all-time bestsellers like I Heart Scale Models and Eat, Sleep, Build Models, Repeat. There is something for everyone. You can find them at the website on your screen, the link in the description, or just scan the QR code on the screen with your phone. So be sure to check them out today. And now, back to the build. Okay, first out of the box, we have the nice little dome display stand. Okay, we have our top and bottom of the hull. Has a lot of detail actually in it. Looks really nice. Now, I am not going to do this up with the Aztec decals and all that. I'm just going to do a basic, simple build on this one and a fairly decent paint job, but I want to make it look nice. This is a snap kit, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a snap kit. Here we have some clear parts for the engines, the antenna. Okay, here's our other parts. These are bodies for our engine nacelles, parts for the hull, main hull, and some little detailed parts around here. Okay, I believe this is the new parts that they added for the refit version. Again, some really nice detail in this kit. It's really well molded. Not a lot of flash, just a really clean mold. Yeah, this is looking pretty promising. Okay, here we have our decal sheet. Nice looking decals, they feel really good. Now, this does have markings for the Mirror Universe episode, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a callback to the original Trek in the Mirror Universe. I do like the design of that. I don't know if I'll use that in this one or not. Maybe I will. But either way, the decals look like they're really nice, and Round 2 does put out some really nice decals. So those hopefully will go on without any problems. Okay, here we have our instructions. Very well laid out instruction sheet. You've got your callouts for the NX-01 original and for the refit. Then we have a really nice layout, paint guide, and decal guide. All right, well, that's all that's in the box. So I'm going to grab some nippers, some sandpaper, some glue, some paint, and we are going to get to the build. Okay, friends, just a quick update. So I've got the hull, individual pieces assembled on the hull, and I went ahead and painted this in a gloss black. Like I said, I'm just having some fun with this kit. I'm going to try to do a few things paint-wise. I'm not doing the normal paint scheme, and I'm thinking I may even do the mirror universe, well, kind of the mirror universe version. Might use some of the decals from that and also just do my, like I said, do my own thing. I'm just having fun with this one. As far as the kit goes, so it is a snap tight kit, but the word tight is emphasized because these parts are some of them are really hard to snap into place. So if you're using this for like a young builder, they might need some help with that. probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up snipping a lot of these snapping pins down so I can get it to line up right and then just glue it in place, but we'll see how it goes. The other thing is the way that these nacelles go together, it's pretty challenging to, it would be pretty challenging to mask off the impulse or the warp engines in the nacelles there and, highlight them and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I've painted my nacelles engines already. I painted some gloss silver on the back and then just used some transparent glue on the front. And I'm just going to paint these and then put these in here right before I put them together. And I think I can get the seam lines pretty tight to where, you can't really see a seam line, but we'll see how that goes. Also, as for the front here, didn't mask it off. I'm just going to paint this up before I put the two halves of the hull together so I can highlight that up a little bit. And otherwise, it's going along. Fun little kit. So back to the build. And here it is, friends, the completed NX-01, not the Enterprise. I called this one actually the Avenger. So again, this was just a fun kit. I'm just having some fun with it, doing my own thing, trying out some different painting schemes and all that. And I actually had a lot of fun doing this, and I really liked the way it turned out. So basically, like I said, just trying some fun things. After I did the gloss black and rubbed on the chrome powder to give it a chrome look in some areas, then I lightly coated the entire ship in some thinned down metallic steel from Vallejo. And I just really like the way it turned out. It's got a lot of contrast. It does not have any like Aztec decaling on it or anything, but I like the way this one came out. Now, if you want to see one that's done really well like the Enterprise, my friend Dan over at Dan's Model Universe, I'll be sure to link that in the description below, he did one of these recently, and he actually put a lighting kit that he made inside of it. Turned out really good, so be sure to go check out Dan over at his site and watch that video on his Enterprise. And while you're there, give him a like and subscribe to him. So once again, this was just a fun build, just having some fun with an inexpensive kit. Now I will say, I mentioned it in halfway through the build that this kit may be challenging for some young builders. The fit is not great. In fact, the fit is really not great on a lot of parts. Had to do a lot of gluing to get things to stay together. The snap part of the kit just really did not want to snap well. But the biggest issue I had with this kit, which surprised me because typically I don't have a problem with decals from round 2, but the decals on this kit were horrible. Well, not horrible, but it may have just been my set of decals, but when I would go to slide the decals off, they would just come apart, break apart, like they were almost like cut somewhere. It was really odd. Like I said, normally the decals from round 2 work great, but I actually almost did not use the larger decals for the alternate universe markings. But I braved it, and fortunately those two actually held together. The sword in the front, the emblem there, came apart, but I was able to slide it and get it to match up to make it look okay. And those were the most challenging of the decals. Some of the smaller ones were challenging, like in the little docking hatches here, I guess those are. They wanted to come apart into multiple pieces. But outside of the decals, again, inexpensive, fun kit to build. So I'm not knocking it, just I think there might have been just a problem with the decal sheet that I got in my kit. All right, so that'll do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please remember to click that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. So until next time, friends, everyone just be safe out there and go build something.